Well, here's the one, saving the environment means risking your neck. This is 1972. Nobody was talking about the environment in 1972, let me tell you. Joe's sister's campaign manager, his brother's the fundraising director.
This is the campaign.
And this is how Joe Biden became a U.S. Senator at age 29.
We didn't have any money. And limited resources force you to think outside the box.
Valerie Biden Owens is Joe Biden's sister. Ted Kaufman was his longtime chief of staff in the Senate. It helped that Delaware is small.
You can go stem to stern in 2 hours, and the width of it is 35 minutes.
That first campaign enlisted moms in station wagons and kids on the football team.
We had no money to mail them. They delivered the newspaper, and they couldn't put them in the mailbox because it was against the law. So they went up to the doors and were chased by dogs. And except at the end of 6 weeks, people were waiting at the door, like, where is it?
He's like can't explain it, but it's like a bubbly person that just is constantly up. And people liked him immediately once they gave him that smile.
We literally have a chance to shape the future, to put our stamp on the face and character of America, to bend history just a little bit.
James Baker is the former mayor of Wilmington, the state's largest city. He was running for city council in 1972 when Biden asked to campaign with him in downtown Wilmington.
He was like a shot. He just took off. He was meeting people, shaking hands, talking to people. He didn't need me at all.
Delaware is the first state. J. Caleb Boggs, who is the incumbent Republican, being challenged by Joseph Biden. Biden is a Democrat who's 29 years of age, but will turn 30 on the 20th of November, and thus will be constitutionally eligible to serve should he win.
Joe Biden beat the well-established Republican incumbent by 3,100 votes.
I can remember when they announced he'd won. This is the honest-to-God truth. I will never believe anything is impossible again.
That's what he said.
And that's, loads of people just had, I mean, this was like, this could never, ever have happened, and it did.
At age 30, Joe Biden took office, one of the youngest senators in U.S. history.
He was like the token young person. So a lot of things happened to him. He was asked to speak around the country. He was asked by the Democratic Party. He was asked to come in and work campaigns.
All of this raised Biden's profile. In the Senate, he stayed. And with that came seniority. Biden became chairman of powerful committees, Judiciary, Foreign Relations.
In all my years in the Senate, Secretary Rice, I don't think we faced a more pivotal moment than the one we face today. Failure in Iraq will not be confined to Iraq.
He was at the center of political moments, the Robert Bork nomination, Anita Hill and Clarence Thomas. How Biden handled that hearing with its allegations of sexual harassment still follows him today.
The Clarence Thomas hearings, put him in a very difficult position because he trusted the institution. He didn't want to slight his Republican colleagues. And in hindsight, that's been problematic for him. Those instincts in today's light are cast a little bit differently than they were then.
Matt Visor is a national political reporter for The Washington Post and is covering the Biden campaign.
He came up at a time where it was important to work with, as they say in the Senate, my friend. He had friends in the Senate, and he was dedicated to working with them. Even people like Mitch McConnell, who now are sort of boogeymen of the Democratic Party, and have kind of changed the rules.
Biden spent 36 years in the Senate, commuting back and forth to Wilmington on Amtrak, where the station now carries his name. Biden's legislative record in the Senate spans 42 bills where he was the primary sponsor that later became law. Among the most significant, the 1994 crime bill that took on a range of issues, from violence against women to drugs and a ban on assault weapons. It was a time of high crime rates, as crack cocaine swept into America's big cities.
But the drugs, you just never know, do you? I mean, you just don't know what... I mean, the guy you're about to arrest, the person you're about to pick up, you have no idea where that person's spaced out and long gone.
To suggest that A, there's less money for cops, B, there's less money for prisons, and so on. This bill will save people's lives. This is necessary.
Who are the victims of crime? It's the people at the lower levels of our society. It's the people of color, Those are the people that are the victims of most of the crime, and that was part of the crime bill.
We were able to use the federal law to bring in 20 new officers, which we wouldn't have been able to do without that bill. So in effect, it did us a lot of good.
But tough sentences for drug possession led to a massive rise in the prison population, with the African American community feeling it the most.
The approach that we've been taking has been punitive, and it has been really about making sure that we're able to punish. It's been mixed in with intentional racism.
Cheyenne Miller is president of a grassroots coalition in Delaware looking to reform the criminal justice system.
We've been criminalizing even what we now know are diseases, public health crises like addiction. And so we know that not only does this approach not work, but we still keep doing it. And it's driving me nuts, and it's driving everyone in my community nuts, and I hope that we can fix it. I really do.
In 2008, Barack Obama ran as a candidate of change. But when he needed a running mate, he turned to the old guard. Senator Biden became Vice President Biden.
To Joe Biden. The scrappy kid from Scranton, who became Delaware's favorite son. You were the first decision I made as a nominee, and it was the best.
At 76, Joe Biden is making his third run for the presidency. If he wins, the fresh-faced upstart who became a senator would be the oldest person ever sworn into office. As his party moves to the left, Biden is facing questions about his record in the Senate. Biden says his crime bill wasn't responsible for mass incarceration, but he also admits he made mistakes here and has tried fixing them.
In 2010, that Barack and I finally reduced the disparity in sentencing, which we've been fighting to eliminate, in crack cocaine versus powder cocaine. It was a big mistake when it was made. We were told by the experts that crack, you never go back. It was somehow fundamentally different. It's not different, but it's trapped an entire generation.
It all has Democrats wondering if they should look to the past and Joe Biden or leave him behind.
He tends to argue for sort of a return to normalcy, a return to the period before President Trump. And the question confronting the Democratic Party right now is whether they want that, whether they want to return to something before Trump, or whether our politics have fundamentally shifted. And Joe Biden argues that they haven't, that the country is fundamentally wants compromise. They want Democrats and Republicans to respect one another and deal with one another and compromise with one another.
The Constitution as well as the Declaration of Independence, they use the word we the people.
This race, perhaps his final race, is not really all that different from the first one, some 47 years ago.
None of the campaigns were ever about Joe and about his seeking power. The campaigns were always about the other guy, the voter, the person who was looking at us.
You got to make me a promise. When you're president of the United States, you'll remember who I was, okay? All right, let me answer the question.
The reasons he's running for president today is the fact that he would not feel right about himself with the soul of America at stake, with the issues that are at stake, if he didn't run.
May God protect our children.